there's people on here who might not even know who John is, because it's been a while since we've talked about him and what he's been going on. I'm going to dig into some Mugu Gaipan. Would you mind telling everybody who John is and what happened in January when we went to court and just...
Yeah, right. Well, John Fall was prosecuted by the IRS for, I can't remember the exact charge. Do you, Gus?
Well, he was prosecuted actually by the Department of Justice.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and it was an IRS case.
Right.
And it had something to do with hiding money, and I don't remember what the official charges were, but there were 5 of them.
Yeah.
And he was found guilty in all of them.
Yeah, well, he sort of started to defend himself, to do it by common law things that he had been learning, but he got sucked in by the court to the statutory stuff. So, that's the end right there. You're not going to win with a statutory case, and of course the jury was clueless, and he didn't have any real say in who he got for a jury. Certainly not a jury of his peers. So
he was he wouldn't behave himself in court, and he was sent down the hallway.
Yeah, well, the thing is he didn't stick to the common law defense, the common law stance, and got sucked into the statutory side, and once you step foot on that side, then you can't go back. And he tried to go back, and he got thrown out of court. So, it was basically a trial in absentia. For those.
I think you can go back. It's just he kept making it complicated.
Right. Well, he kept bouncing back and forth and trying to bounce back and forth, and you can't really do that. So, it's and of course the jury didn't have a clue, and certainly, they didn't know what was going on, and of course they believed the testimony of IRS agents, and there's a ton of stuff that went on. There's not one witness that was there testifying with first-hand knowledge of anything. Exactly. Exactly. Right, and the jury was clueless about that, and they're just going along like they're on a cruise ship, Yeah. They're just there for the entertainment. Yeah. And who knows if the jury foreman, if it was stacked with a jury foreman who was a lawyer, who knows? Yeah. But so what happened is, for those of you who didn't hear this stuff before, is Ed and I went to John's trial. It was an IRS case. We went, I think it was close to 2 weeks. And there was at least 10 days. At least 8 days. I think it was 4 days the first week and 4 days the second week. But it might have been 5 days in one of those weeks. But anyway, John, the very first day we were there, got pulled out of court. The judge told him to behave. It was towards the end of the day. And if he didn't behave, he was going to put him in a room down the hall, and he could watch everything by video. And his standby counsel would then come forward and be full-time counsel. And that's eventually what happened, and it didn't take very long. And so when they were selecting the jury, John was in a room down the hall. Ed and I were sitting with him, and that's pretty much where John spent most of his time, except for when he had a chance to testify and speak for himself. But the thing that was missing is no man came forward to accuse him of anything.
And John, I don't know for a fact that he put it on the record that he was there to settle, any claim being made by any man. But looking back, I'm pretty sure he did not do that. Do you remember him stating at any time, either in notice or in voice, that, well, he would have had to do it by notice to begin with, but do you remember seeing anything where he was claiming that he was a man looking to, settle all claims before the court? And,
I believe he did say that, but the thing is I'm trying to remember if that was one of those points where he was talking and the judge didn't want him to, and if you don't shut up when they tell you to shut up, they're going to send you down the hall. They're going to send you out of the room.
So they didn't try to hold him in contempt or anything?
No. He was sort of aware that when that point might be reached, so he didn't. I don't recall the judge ever threatening contempt, but
I don't think. What's the difference? Even if the judge says, if you say that again, I'm going to hold you in contempt. So what? You're going to jail anyway. You might as well just run your mouth and say what you've got to say. But you got to put it in the form of a notice first. You can't, because they will gag you. They'll put you down the hall. And when he threatened that, John should have said, you realize you're talking to a man, and I have the right to be fully heard regarding any charges made against me. But he never took that stand. He put notices in, but he also put other stuff in. John was, took the shotgun approach, where he was using everything he could.
Kitchen sink?
Yeah, everything. And he just never took a stand on that one spot and stayed there. And so the man acting as judge had quite a bit of flexibility, because John never, whenever that man is threatening you, you got to turn on him. Say, look, you realize you're threatening a man. You're telling me that if I don't do something, you're going to do what the mafia does, and you're going to break my legs. You're going to do something bad to me. You're threatening a man. That's what you're doing right now. I have a right to be fully heard. And he never stuck to the really basic things. There was a couple of days where I was sure he was going to latch onto that and not let go. There was one day where he was walking
breaking up, Gus. Breaking up.
Don't walk into the courtroom. Don't walk into the building and give them your license identifying yourself as the person they see. Walk in as a man, and that's it. And so he wrote. He says, how do I do that? And just walk in. Everybody's there for you. The witnesses, the prosecutor, all the members of the jury, all these men and women are there for you. And if they don't let you into the building, except if you're not willing to go in the building except as a man, what are they going to do? They're going to send everybody home. This is your case, your stuff, your everything. This is your life. So why walk in there with a license and say, yeah, I'm that person, when you can walk in and let them know I'm not coming into this building except as a man. I refuse to appear as a defendant. I will not take that title. I'm not coming in as pro se. I'm not accepting any title. I don't understand your rules. I don't understand legalese. And if you're inviting me to this party, I'm going to come in as a man. And that's it. And why not stick to that? So he did that one day. He walked in, and that's what he did. And then when they got into court, the man acting as judge read the notice that John had put into the court, saying it wasn't a notice. It was kind of it was kind of a notice. It was scratched out on a piece of paper that he handed to the guy at the door and said, this is who I am. This is how I'm coming in. And it was really short, right to the point. And the man acting as judge literally read it onto the record.
Did they file it? They stamp it?
They stamped it, they filed it, they put it on the record. And John took this as a way to introduce evidence. And so he started, the next day he shows up and he's just loading the court up with this paperwork. Instead of putting it through the clerk, he's giving it to the guy at the front door, and it got lengthier and lengthier and included everything under the sun. So, he just took it way too far. But Vital was there too. Vital and I think Richard were there. But yeah, go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, well, and the long story short, I mean, he got convicted and he's in federal prison now. They bounced him around a couple of places, but now he's in, and I don't know all the details because he had cases filed against officials, I guess, in the state where this all went down, and don't know what whether any of those cases were, whether he's still working them, what happened with them, what's going on with them, and he's working on an appeal, and I mean,
well,
because he's on the inside, it's going to be tough. Tougher.
The impression I get is that he wants the small claims information so he can pursue a small, a claims court. He can go to a claims court and prosecute his claim against whoever it is that was prosecuting or bearing false witness against him or whatever that was. So,
yeah, well, I mean, we don't know the rationale, but he wants to.
I don't know why he's doing it, but
yeah.
The other cases that he had one in the Boston Federal Court,
yep,
and another one in the Rhode Island County Court
right.
against the man that was doing the prosecuting. So I don't know if he's pursuing that still or if he's looking to do something different. But he's looking for information on small claims. But really, I mean, what he's looking for is claims court, common law court. And don't forget to donate to Karl. I mean, he put all this stuff out there for a reason. He wanted to help you guys out. He wanted to help me out. I still donate to Karl. Because he's put the stuff out there. Let's be respectful of all he's done for us.
Speaking of donations, is there another way other than PayPal? I don't use PayPal.
Yeah, I finally got a PL box. You talking about me or Mike?
Either or both. I'm just trying to figure out one way. I'm sure I want to contribute. You guys take a lot of time and you're doing good things, so I want to contribute to that. But I don't use PayPal.
All right, my current I finally got a PL box. It's 235. It's Pine City, Minnesota, 55063. And I've got the PayPal button on my website, redressfordummies.org. And Mike has his own website. Mike, you want to give your stuff out?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the zip code for the Minnesota PO box.
55063.
63.
What's the PO box number, Gus?
235.